Raziel says, because you are breaking through the painful, heavy constructs of time, you will need to find a way to structure your thoughts and structure your beliefs, to lighten them or enliven them. Otherwise, you'll float around like a bunny hopping around in a field, hopping for no exact reason, and wonder why you have forgotten your innate goals, how you wish to expand. Dharma is fleeting and karma is pulling. That's how you know the difference. Dharma comes like a bright, beautiful idea, lighting you up from the inside out. It can also be triggered or catalyzed by someone external or another teaching. And for a brief moment, you begin to breathe. For a brief moment, you feel release. For a brief moment, even the ego says, thank goodness. That's exactly what I'm feeling. And that's what I want to do. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know how, but I know that's it. Even though I don't quite know what that is. I know that essence is it. Have you ever done that? And it stops you in your tracks like a beautiful dream that you've awakened from. But then you go about your lives, and as dreams do, they are forgotten and they dissipate quickly. You need to understand that you are switching from reasoning of your past and holding on to ideas, concepts, ideologies, belief systems from your past, but your system is in culture shock. You don't know what it's like quite yet to not resonate and create from the past. And yet it is here because you are ready, which is enlivening and enlightening your mind, body, and soul construct so quickly. But then your mind is simply trying to catch up. So what do you do instead? You procrastinate. I need you to understand that it's okay to procrastinate. When you understand why you're doing it, that feeling lightness feels different for you and perhaps frightening to the ego constructs, you can also understand how to suddenly release heaviness and to easily get back on track. Do you take Dharma notes? It's something I taught this person. This messenger today takes notes. If a download comes in, she simply writes it down. She doesn't need to understand how to implement it. Her ego doesn't need to come in and say, well, it's not time for that, or you can't do that right now, and to create a bunch of excuses, although she tries. She simply writes it down, and then she will return to the download, read the notes, and ask for the download again. You can visualize the gate to your own life records. What does it look like for you? Open it. Visualize. Go through the Hall of Records. Pull out the book that relates to the question. Don't worry, you'll know which one it is. And as you visualize walking through the Hall of Records, perhaps a book just stands out a little more than the others. But keep repeating the download that you got, or perhaps you don't have a download, but you have a question. As you visualize walking through, I would like for you to be mindful that you are a living, breathing construct who needs breath and who needs to focus on breath as she is asking her question and receiving another download of an answer. I need you to never cease focus of your breath, but to also know that as you walk through the Hall of Records, a book will simply stand out, or perhaps the end of its binder will be slightly loose, or perhaps it will fly off the shelves and land on the floor. If you aren't paying attention, perhaps you run into it, literally. However it happens for you, take the book or books, open them, breathe, ask the question again, and wait on the same essence of the download. When you follow the essence of the download, you're not looking for a visual. You don't require that unique ability of clairvoyance. When you look for the essence of the download, you don't need to hear me or hear your higher self. You will receive a simple download of knowingness about the essence of what you asked or of the former download that you received. And then you can use this little notebook that you're carrying as a new access point for operating in your Akash whenever you're procrastinating. And you can go do this practice over and over again. And then you'll realize if, number one, you were procrastinating for a reason. Perhaps you simply took a download and your ego filled in the blanks for the rest and you lost track. And perhaps procrastination served you. Otherwise, you would be going down a fruitless path. Perhaps you are procrastinating because you need rest. Your body needs rest. These downloads are terribly heavy for the human constructs. Perhaps you are procrastinating simply because you forgot the most recent essence of the download that was given to you. Perhaps you procrastinated because you were afraid, in which case, of course, the download subsides and you no longer relate to it any further. A pattern of ego resistance will arise, and you will need this process again to reinvigorate and re-enliven the download once more.